With the second Marvel season in full swing and another OG season right around the corner, I've been seeing a lot more videos about people's reaction to them bringing back Chapter 2. And I wanted to get my thoughts on it. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here and leave a like. And comment down below what you think about Chapter 2. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So if you haven't heard, Epic Games is planning to bring back the Chapter 2 island for a short, month-long season, similar to what they did with OG Chapter 1 last year. When Fortnite OG first came out, it was a major success. It got some of the highest player counts ever seen on launch. And because of that, people immediately started wondering if Epic would ever do something like this again in-game. Epic quickly let the fans know that they had plans of some sort of OG in the future. Fast forward to now, we're seeing Chapter 5 come to a close with the current Marvel season. And it is confirmed that next season will be Chapter 2 OG. So what do I think of this? On launch, I thought it was no good. Going from what was personally one of my favorite seasons to one, if not the most dry and boring season ever, was not a good first step. I understand Season X was a lot. Surely a lot of time and effort was put into it to make it the most action-packed and content-filled season we'd ever had. And after a season like that, they couldn't just keep ramping up in the same trajectory. Of course, after all that hard work, the devs needed some sort of break. But how can they give the fans a lot of content for months without constant updates like they usually do? A brand new map. Now, Chapter 2 has a lot of fans, and I know I'm opening myself up to plenty of hate from people that are mad that I don't have their same opinion, who are probably about to comment that my opinion's meaningless because I like Season X when it's actually trash because their home got crushed by a fucking World of Tanks mech. I liked some seasons in Chapter 2, but the majority I did not. The first chapter of the season was okay. I see what they were going for, a reset on the game that may have gotten out of hand in the last few years. It was like a return to form, to be another Season 1. Wow, that's why they fucking called it that. And it was alright. The new map was neat, it added new mechanics like swimming and fishing. They even overhauled the graphics, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, but whatever. It was shaping up to be a great chapter. Until the season lasted 4 months and the only thing they added was a fucking pistol that helps you fish. That's right, at 128 days long, Chapter 2 Season 1 is the longest Fortnite season we've ever seen. That is 4 months of nothing new but trying to enjoy the new map. And the standout points in that season were the Winterfest event, which came around because it was Christmas, because it happened to be during that season, and the lightsabers, which they brought back several times now. I think it's going to be a fine season to revisit. There's going to be some nostalgia going back no matter what I thought about the map at the time, and it being only there for a week will make for an enjoyable experience rather than 4 months on the exact same island. Oh, also Chapter 2 Season 1 saw the launch of bots, and I don't know, fuck bots. Who the fuck likes bots in Fortnite? Now, Season 2 gets a lot of praise, and I have no clue why. I hated this season from beginning to end. The start of Season 2 saw 5 new named locations, which to be fair is a good amount for a new season. The spots alone were great in my opinion. The rig was a big oil rig. The shark was a private island in the shape of a shark. The yacht saw the return of a water-based location in Fortnite. The grotto was basically a big cave. That, in all honesty, was a pretty unique POI. I actually liked a lot. Oh, and again, very on the nose with the name. Finally, in the center of the map was the agency. That's where the man himself, Midas, was in his main headquarters. The POIs, as I said before, were all great. The problem was, I mean, besides none of them being alliterations like Fortnite names usually are, but whatever, they're all on the edges of the map. Like look at this. Look at all the open space here, 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 here. It feels like they made the Chapter 2 map. They thought it looked so good, they couldn't touch it at all. I mean, fucking Galactus pulled up. All he did was smack a helicarrier that was floating above it. The helicarrier would have been at the size of like a fucking ant to him. They really wanted the map to look the exact same from beginning to end. I was never really the biggest fan of Season 2, to be honest. I'm not that excited to revisit it. I know since then they've nerfed the AI heavily, so I'm hoping the NPC and boss characters around the map operate similar to the bosses we've seen in the past few seasons. But back in the day, man, this season was cursed.
Foggiest, bro. I just got heavy sniped. From where? Oh, the headsman sniped me 128 meters.
Are you fucking kidding me? What? You know what's crazy is that low taper fade like meme is, dude, it is still massive.
It feels like 8 out of 10 times you managed to outlive everyone else that landed at the same place as you, you'd end up dying to one of the bosses, or just one of the normal henchmen. You could be gliding, sneaking around, trying to escape, or just reviving your teammate. No matter what you were doing, they would run up on you and put you down in seconds. Each boss having a mythic weapon that was super OP was cool. considering it was the first time they did this. A lot of the mythics, while broken, were fun. I'm honestly hoping that we see the return of the exact same weapons we had back in the day. I want the 50 damage mythic drum gun headshots. There were a few updates and some items added over the season, like decoy grenades, boxers, and the heavy sniper came back. With this season, we also saw one of the most anticipated vehicles, the choppas, which is most likely going to be coming back, as during Chapter 1 OG, we saw the return of all the OG vehicles minus the brutes. Season 2, while not my favorite, will be an interesting season to go back to. There's not a lot I'm excited for in that season, but the parts I did enjoy, I'm really looking forward to seeing them make a return. Season 3 was a banger. We ended the last season on a great live event that saw the map be entirely flooded. On launch, the majority of the map was underwater in Season 3, while Sweaty Sands, Pleasant Park, and Frenzy Farm had all been insured and were safely floating above the water. This season added lots of new POIs, changed almost every existing one, and brought a ton of new weapons and items to the loot pool. We got the charged shotgun, a mythic glider grappler, and an infinite chug jug. This season, Epic reused the idea of having a mythic at a few locations guarded by a boss and their henchmen. You had Kit's charged shotgun and his shockwave grenade launcher, which was a crazy item to boost you across the map. As long as you had rockets on you, you could fly around anywhere you needed to go. Jules' drum gun, which was a slightly nerfed version of Midas's, and she also had a grappler gun that you could use as a normal grappler, then deploy your glider. The grappler also had crazy reach. And finally, Ocean had a mythic AUG and a bottomless chug jug that would refill 1 minute after a use. These items were all great, and I thought they were all balanced and a lot of fun, and they all brought an interesting dynamic to the game. Week by week throughout the season, the water level slowly lowered until the map had fully been revealed again, which was cool to see happen over time. Now here's the question: since each season during an OG season only lasts a week or so, what version of the map will we see in OG Chapter 2 when we go to Season 3? I'm hoping to see the completely flooded map from day one. It would be the best choice in my opinion, because it'd be the most unique choice. Every other map looks the same, besides a few new or removed POIs. Seeing the whole map underwater again would be a super different week. I could also see it being cool if day by day they lowered the water level to give it the same effect, but that would also probably be a lot of work and a pretty big update every day of that week. I'm very excited to see the return of this season. I'm just hoping that we get to see one of the flooded versions of the maps, or the first stage honestly would be peak. As long as we don't get this, I'll be happy. Just kidding. So apparently we're only going to be getting the first 3 seasons of Chapter 2 in the OG season. I don't really understand why. I think Chapter 2 really peaked when it progressed more and they did more with the island. My best guess is they wanted to save the remainder of Chapter 2 for an OG season next year, because it looks like this is going to become a yearly thing. So that way they wouldn't have to go back to Chapter 1 right away, or Chapter 3, which is that even OG? That way, if we do end up seeing the Chapter 1 map again for an OG event in November someday, it would be in 2026. That gives us 3 years between revisiting the original map, which Epic seems to want to use very sparingly and not just send us back to all the time. I wouldn't mind being on the OG map all the time, just saying. In my opinion, it was one of the best maps, and I don't think any other map has come close to how good the first one was. There's a reason Fortnite OG broke records. People like the OG map. But Epic has a plan, and they don't want to involve the original island too much, and that's whatever. Overall, these 3 seasons will be a cool look back into Chapter 2, which at the time I wasn't the biggest fan of, but now I'm feeling ready to go back. After years of the maps just getting worse and worse, I won't mind going back to this map that I thought was trash at the time, because I've seen way more awful maps. Like, what the fuck is the Chapter 5 map? If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and comment down below if you agree or disagree with me, and let me know your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you real soon.